Hi friends, my name is Colby Sharp. I'm a 5th grade teacher in Michigan, and today I'm going to be telling you about John David Anderson's One Last Shot. I loved this book. This middle grade novel is about a boy named Malcolm who is an only child, lives with both of his parents, and his parents fight all the time. The relationship is not good, it's not going well at all. They were college sweethearts and things just aren't going well. And Malcolm is often just left trying to deal with his parents fighting all the time and kind of figuring out his place in the family. Malcolm's dad was a college baseball player, loves sports, all sports, and is dying to get Malcolm to love sports as well. And as a 5th grade teacher, this is something that I see all of the time. So many of our young children are kind of thrust into sports to, I don't know if it's to fulfill the dream of their parents or because maybe their parents were great athletes or not great athletes, but I think this story is going to hit home for a lot of kids. I myself come from a very large family of sport-loving people. My dad was an amazing athlete at our high school, amazing football player in the 1960s. The late 1960s, and he had 6 sons and 1 daughter. All of us are really into sports, love sports, multiple athletes of the year in our family, not me. And I still have 2 brothers in high school who play high school football. So 6 boys in this family are playing high school football at the same place my dad played high school football. And I have 3 sons, and I kind of assumed that maybe it would be the same for me. Like I would have sons who would grow up and play football at the same school because that's where I teach. And my oldest son, who is in middle school now, has no interest in sports at all. He loves making comics, he loves his instruments, he loves Minecraft. He is an amazing human being. And when he was young, we tried to get him into sports, and we tried to do the baseball thing, and we tried to do the soccer thing. We even did a little stint at gymnastics. And I think we did a pretty good job of not becoming like Malcolm's father where we were obsessed with sports, but I do think that that is an issue in this book that a lot of kids are going to relate to. They're going to see their parents kind of trying to force their parents' interest on them, and I think that this book is going to help a lot of kids and hopefully even some parents, hopefully help some kids have some tough conversations with parents. But back to the book. Malcolm does not want to play baseball, and finally his dad kind of agrees like, okay, maybe baseball's not for you. And they decide to do some putt-putt golfing one day, and Malcolm is like super good at it. And so then his dad goes home and researches and finds like a tournament and finds him a coach, this guy named Frank, who is one of the most hilarious characters I have read in a middle grade novel in a while. And he makes Malcolm, the dad makes Malcolm take lessons and get really good at miniature golf and so he can compete in these tournaments. And what's really, really cool is the book kind of takes place over the course of 18 holes in a miniature golf course, and you kind of go back and forth from Malcolm competing in this tournament to everything that led up to that moment. And you see that something happened where with the father and the mother, and you're just kind of trying to figure out what happened that led them to this point during this tournament. A really, really fascinating way to tell a story, and I think that John David Anderson is a very gifted storyteller and does an amazing job with this book. I wish that we weren't dealing with this pandemic in our country right now, because I would love to hand this book to a reader. I would love to hand this book to just some kids, but I can't right now. Another really awesome thing that I loved about this book is a character named Lex, and Malcolm meets her putt-putt golfing, and they kind of talk a little bit, and then, you know, she kind of goes away and he'll never see her again. But Frank, the coach, kind of thinks that there's some chemistry between the two and gets her phone number, or gives Lex Malcolm's dad's phone number, and they end up creating this really, truly amazing friendship. And it's just awesome right now to get lost in a middle grade novel and to meet some really cool characters and to think about the issues that my students face through the pages of a book. I don't know. There's just nothing like a great middle grade novel, and this book is another one to add to the collection, another great book from John David Anderson. Be sure to check it out. If you get a chance, order it from your local independent bookstore. Always good to support them in all times, both good and bad. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. Have an awesome-tastic day. Happy reading.